Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Highway Blossoms. I have no idea what happened in the last episode. It's been a while, and I apologize for that. That's a pretty common trend here on the channel. I'll kind of sleep on a series and then apologize once I come back. But I am sorry, I don't know why I slept on this one. I got busy with other stuff, I suppose. I think we are maybe done with the treasure hunt. I'm not sure. I really have no idea, so we'll skip the recap and we'll just jump right back in. The engine dies. I can still hear the power buzzing before it surges down, leaving us with the ambience of the settling motorhome.
We're here.
Not a lot of cars here, huh?
Guess the rest of the world just hasn't caught up yet.
That won't last for long. Any day now, people will figure out it's here, and an army of would-be treasure hunters will be swarming this place, drooling at the chance to find gold. The last of the gold. So we're not done. Okay, we're about to be done, I think. There's a fluttering in my chest, and I tighten my grip on the wheel. It's the end of our adventure.
I bet our names have spread across the land and struck fear into the hearts of our rivals, giving them no other choice but to call it quits.
Yeah. Or maybe someone already came through and found the treasure.
What? Don't say something scary like that.
Still wrapped around the wheel, my clammy hand starts shaking. Marina takes notice, looking over with sympathetic eyes.
Hey.
She takes her hand and gently places it on top of mine, giving it a reassuring squeeze. I let both fall into my lap. She's warm.
We're doing this together, okay?
The flutters tickle the inside of my chest until I can't help smiling.
Right. Let's do it.
Regretfully, I force out a nod and pull my hand out from Marina's. It feels wrong, like throwing away a precious gift. Reaching into the console, I retrieve the journal, for what may be the last time. It's well-loved, a bent spine, wrinkled pages, and folded corners on the flimsy paper cover. Looking back, it's been getting roughed up since the moment we got it, ever since that weird station attendant let Marina have it for free way back at the Traveler's store. Hard to believe this cheap thing was the roadmap to something so valuable. Taking a deep breath, I skim over the final entry. After several days of travel, I believe I have finally arrived at my first destination. It is well known I have an astute eye for locations. After all, this is how I found my precious bounty, so it is no mistake that I easily found the perfect hiding place within this valley. I arrived on horseback at the blistering peak of noon. Looking for shelter from the coming night, I began noticing something different, something distinct. Crimson, all of it. Shades lighter than pink and darker than blood. The colors stained it all, from giant unmovable stones to the tiniest grains of sand. It was as if the land had absorbed the sun's heat and reflected it outwards. Even at sunset, the cave I had settled in emanated a bright red glow that speckled out from its opening. That night, as I laid on the ground, watching the flames of my fire shoot up to the cave's roof, I wondered if there were more places like this out in the unsettled land. During my travels on the trail, I was too preoccupied with preparations to observe the world around me. But now that I have achieved success, maybe I shall. It would be a shame if my superb observational skills went to waste.
Windstone Arch.
It's probably the vaguest entry so far, but I can feel it. It has to be here. I slap the journal shut and lay it to rest in the center console, right next to all the cassette tapes. Marina and I look at each other, now sharing the same piercing determination.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, let's fucking get it. The bread and the treasure. Because of the lack of crowds, getting around is a lot easier than usual, allowing us to take in the scenery for once instead of slogging through zombified hordes. Even though there's not many people around, it somehow feels fuller here. Everywhere we walk, we're surrounded by layered dunes and sandstones, towering over us, striped with faded reds and calico browns. Somehow, we do eventually manage to find the Windstone Arch. Unlike the arches back in Utah, it isn't big and majestic. It's not a giant upside-down horseshoe that lords over us as we look on in awe. It's not even an arch, as much as it is a cave, really. Just a jagged, overgrown rock with a few crevices big enough for a person to enter. Still, despite the fact that it doesn't compare to the size or grandeur of everything else we've seen so far, and despite that it hardly took us any time to find it at all, it's still imposing. The longer I stare at it, the bigger it gets, like it's judging us. It isn't calling into question our abilities or even if we can find it. It's gauging us to see if we're ready. Are we? I look over to Marina. A small bulge forms in her throat before she swallows it back down. Is she? I return my gaze to the arch, asking the same questions over and over in my head. Am I? Finally, we look to each other. Marina readies the metal detector strapped to her back and gives me a nod, which I return. Even if we aren't ready, even if this is the worst mistake of my life, this is something both of us have to do. Our steps in sync, we march over the rocks and desert shrubs before crouching into the cavern. Sunlight squeezes into the cave, dyeing the rock columns neon red. Marina begins scanning with the metal detector, listening intently for a beep. The narrow space forces us to huddle together as we heave our way through the arch, repeatedly brushing against each other. At first it's accidental, but I find myself craving it more. Ah, young love. To get closer. To feel her. To watch as her hair absorbs the brilliant glow of the cave. I'm deprived of all of that, though, as her metal detector vibrates in her hand, making a low rumble. She takes off the headphones and points to the wall.
There.
I avert my gaze and move past her, taking a knee as I slip the bag off my shoulder and pull out a mandrel pickaxe. Careful not to hit her, I start chiseling away at the rock. Soon the crack in the wall grows, and small pebbles and gravel start flying off. I reposition myself and block Marina from getting hit by any of it. The small portion of the wall crumbles away, and after a few more strikes reveals a hollow space, just big enough to squeeze your hand into. This is gonna suck if some creepy thing's gone and made its home in there. That'd be creepy. It would be really creepy if another hand just came out and grabbed her. Shuddering, I reach into the space, and I feel something square and wooden. With some budging, it comes free and easily slides out. A box. Its familiarity is expected, but it doesn't stop my heart from leaping any less, nor Marina's, who squeaks out a gasp.
Ready?
This time she barely nods, unsure of what to say, but like ripping off a bandage, I swing the lid open before she can give any real answer. Nuggets, a pile of them, filled from top to bottom, all misshapen and morphed. The sight isn't anything new, but this time it feels different. It's like for the first time the reality has finally sunk in, and everything up until now, has been a haze. We both just stare at it. An entire universe of thoughts race through my mind, yet it all comes up blank.
What now?
It's directed more towards myself than Marina, but it's the first thing I manage to spit out, and ultimately the most important. Marina doesn't answer at first, instead just tilting her head, trying to process the question. But finally she gives a simple smile.
I saw a sign for a trail on the way over here. Why don't we go hiking?
Hiking? I freeze for a second, then laugh under my breath. The more I think about the simplicity behind her words, the more I laugh, until I border on sounding like a hysterical madman.
Hiking? For real?
I keep laughing, struggling to keep it together, even after I start having trouble breathing. Poor Marina isn't in on the joke, though, and within a matter of seconds her face goes from confusion to concern, and then pouting.
I don't know why you're laughing. I was being serious, you know?
Settling down, I wipe a fake tear from my eye, an occasional chuckle still managing to break through.
No, I know you were.
Then what's so funny?
Nothing, just...
I finally regain complete composure and smile at her.
Yeah, sure. Let's go hiking. That sounds nice. Can you please keep to the signs?
I will. Stop being such a worrywart.
Marina skips through the sand, gleefully oblivious that her trail is a badly marked patch of dirt over the plains of the Mojave.
That's what you said last time. If you're not careful, we're gonna get lost. Again.
Aw, you didn't like those old cabins we found?
It gets old after the second time, Mare.
It kills daylight, too. The sun has faded to orange and will soon sink out of view. There's no way we're getting back before dark. But hey, maybe that's not such a bad thing. We've already found the treasure, so spending some time with Marina is a nice reward.
So, about this fire wave thing. And yes, I know it's not an ocean of lava, smarty pants.
Damn, I must be running out of material.
I mean, it's so cool. Well, it's hot, I guess. But what is it?
What's the fire wave? It's a, windy thing that winds around rocks and stuff and looks like fire. At least, I think that's what it was.
Oh?
A devilish grin slinks onto Marina's face, and she attaches herself to me like Velcro, nudging my shoulders.
You don't know what it is either, do you?
What? Do so.
Her grin grows until I force myself to look away. She's not going to get the satisfaction.
I've seen pictures.
Oh, you've seen pictures? What sort of pictures?
You know, the picture-y kind.
Ah, my favorite kind. I can just feel her reveling in this. For the first time, she's got me playing right into her hands.
Oh, shut up.
I feel a slap against my wrist, then a tug. Looking down, I see Marina's bright dimples shining through her round cheeks.
Why don't we find out together?
I'm stunned. It's a position we've been in before, but it's supposed to be the other way around. I'm always pulling her. That's my job. But now it's her smooth fingers locked around my wrist, her fingernails grazing above my skin. The realization doesn't even have time to sink in before she propels herself forward with me in tow.
Hey, wait! Hold on!
Off they go, I guess. I kick up sand and grit as I'm practically dragged along by Marina, who meets my yelps with silence. Then she halts as quickly as she took off, leaving me to shoot forward and stumble to a stop.
You could at least warn me before ya...
Oh, damn. I go silent. Marina does too. The fire wave. The Fire Nation. Swirling ribbons of red wrap around the hillside and stretch out to the horizon. The setting sun casts light and shadow across the ground and sky, shading it all with intense golds, pinks, and purples. As the sky dims, a shred of stray light passes over the shade and shines directly on us. Directly on Marina. She stares on, silent. I can feel every glint of emotion coming from her. Every breath taken away. Every raw feeling that builds up inside her, only to be choked back down. All of it. I glance between her and the scene stretched out before us. The pockets of sky with their deep, vivid colors are beautiful, but the choice is easy. I fixate on Marina. Her clear, sweet blue eyes. Her cute round cheeks. Her lips as they quiver ever so slightly. Laying a hand on her shoulder, I turn her towards me and softly touch her cheek. Her mouth slips open with a faint gasp, but all it takes is a gentle stroke of her face for that uncertainty to be wiped away. Marina holds my gaze. My eyes relax and I step closer so I can feel the warmth of her body against mine. Then I lean in and press my lips to her. Wow, things kind of just happened right there, man. In the blink of an eye, I didn't realize it until I was like halfway reading it. I was like, oh shit, this is it, man. This is it. I guess that's it. Alright, it was fun. So soft. I keep myself pressed against her, letting my lips move with the natural flow. But she doesn't press back. Afraid I pull away before But before I can step back, she pulls me closer and lets her lips melt into mine. Yuri! Oh, nice. I let the pattern take control, our mouths move inside each other, full of tender caution as we ease in. You know, not a better scene, I guess, that you could have before you. Or something like that. We repeat the process infinitely, bathed in the light of the sunset, the two of us exchange something. I eventually pull back, unsure of what to say and scared of what I could. We turn back to find the last rays of sunlight slipping behind the sand. Something brushes up against my hand, tickling for a moment before intertwining between my fingers. Her grip is loose, but I wrap my fingers around so that I'm holding her firmly. We watch the last of the light drift into a peaceful evening. Together.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
My man! They did it. I don't know what episode this is, but I was going to say it took us, quite a few episodes to get to this point. The relationship is there. It was nice seeing the character building, the relationship between them grow over time, the stress that they had gone through over their relationship even. That was an interesting time. I'm still very confused on what the fuck all that was, but, they grew, and there they are. If that's not character development and relationship development, then fuck, I don't know what is. Oh God, why? What have I done? Her back is turned to me like mine is to hers. I claw my nails deeper into the scratchy couch fabric and stick my gaze on the floor. Please end me now. It was silent after we did that. Nice silence. A blissful release of silence. But as we walked back, terror started to sink in. I think she felt it too. I listen to the buzz of the generator and stare at a patch of artificial light on the wall. Stupid little box is making fun of me, I swear.
So, what now?
Funny. That's the same thing I asked when we found the treasure, except she sounds even more hopeless and confused than I did. Bringing my legs to my chest, I bundle my arms around them and put on a nervous smirk.
We could always go hiking again.
She throws a mock slap at my shoulder, feigning a huffy voice.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
The heavy embarrassment in the air melts away into something a little more comfortable as we both manage to laugh at my perviness. Me too, dog. Marina lets out a whiny cry and slides against the couch.
But seriously, what are we gonna do?
About what?
About everything. The treasure, home, us.
My heart tightens like she's squeezing it.
Did you not?
No, I did. I do. I just don't know.
She turns to me, her eyes pleading, like she's looking for answers. There's no doubt I'm responsible for those eyes. Feeling a fierce sense of responsibility, I shoot up and march to the center console.
Amber?
Hold on.
I open the console, but don't bother digging around. I know exactly where these are. 2 irreplaceable pieces of paper. Stopping in front of the couch, my voice darkens.
I'll be using my half of the treasure to pay for Gramps' hospital and funeral expenses. But before I do that, I still need to go to the music festival.
I offer her one of the tickets. Unsure, she gently tugs it from my hand and begins reading.
If you want to, you can go with me. Might give you a little extra time to think about things.
My voice softens.
About everything.
The festival? Me?
Up to you, babe.
I flop back on the couch and hold the ticket over my eyes to block out the light.
Oh?
Oh, crap. She peels the ticket off halfway and peels through, revealing an amused grin.
So I'm babe now, huh?
On her hands and knees, Marina crawls even so closer, while I scramble to turn and hide my face.
Shut up. It was an accident.
And now I'm back to where I started, mortified and embarrassed.
Amber.
Her voice is like a melody.
Shut up.
Amber.
I said shut up.
Oh, Amber.
What?
A tank engine plows into my back, followed by soft, gentle arms wrapping around my neck as she rests her head against mine.
Thank you.
My shoulders relax, embracing her. In turn, I rest my head on hers too, a head sandwich.
Sure thing, kiddo.
You know, I'm a sucker for love when it comes to anime, man. Like, fuck real love. I'm all about that anime love. Doesn't matter if it's straight, gay, whatever it is, I'm all for it. Once we're quiet, the awkwardness sets in again, where I don't know if I should be saying something to fill in the silence or if I should just leave it be. Is she thinking the same thing? Is she also worried? I sneak glance after worried glance down, but I can't see her face. Her hands wander around like she doesn't know what to do. She touches her face, then scratches her leg, picks at a fold in her shirt, pops her knuckles. It's what I do when I record. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. If I'm not clicking the mouse, man, I'm doing every little thing. So she is nervous.
Hey.
The top of her head bumps my chin as she flinches.
Hey.
You good?
Yeah.
You don't seem good.
No, I am. Sorry, I'm just...
Rather than hurry her along like I sometimes do, I wait for her to find the words.
just worried, I guess. I know you have, but I've never had a girlfriend before.
I start to say something, but she hurriedly cuts me off.
I don't mean it like that. Well, I do, but I've also never had a boyfriend before. Not a real one, anyway.
You had a fake boyfriend, though?
Barely. Like, in middle school, there was this guy who asked if I'd be his girlfriend, and I said okay. But then the next day, he said his mom told him he wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend, so we broke up.
God damn. That is whack. Usually it's the other way around, where the boy and the girl, they get together and everything, but then the girl's parents say, oh, no, not my angel. And then that's it. Or, it's just one of those very embarrassing middle school relationships that don't really last into high school, or one of those high school relationships that don't go anywhere as well. Fuck young love. I'm all about that anime love.
Sounds brutal.
Right? And then junior year of high school, I kind of dated this guy for like a month, but I didn't really like him. My friends just wanted me to.
Why do I feel like I've been in a situation like that?
That's screwed up.
I don't know, not really. They weren't trying to be mean or anything, and he wasn't a bad person. He was just boring.
Yo, that's my fear.
Like, for our first date, we went to dinner and a movie. But dinner was just fast food, and he spilled ketchup all over himself.
Shoot. What was the first date for me and my current girlfriend? Shoot, I don't know if we've actually ever had an official date. We just kind of hang out. Oh no. Am I the boring one?
And I don't even remember what movie we saw. He put his arm around the back of my chair, and I thought he was trying to put his arm around me, so I kind of got closer, but nope. He just kept it there.
Oh, I got a story. Okay, if you guys don't want to hear it, I'm sorry. But I got a story. So, a few years ago, I think it was like the end of high school, to be honest, my senior year, somewhere around that time, I went on a quote-unquote date with a girl that I kind of liked, but kind of not really. I just really good friends with her, let's say that. We went and saw a scary movie. I suck at scary movies. And after that, we went and ate fast food. And it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with her, and I think she had fun too. But the movie we saw, it was a scary one, and I suck at scary movies. And she kind of does too. But she's watched the movie before, so she knows where things kind of, spring up. It was one of those jump scare types of movies, and even at that, I'm like the biggest pussy, but I gotta be the big, strong man. and you better believe I wasn't looking at the screen a lot of the times, but I didn't want her to see that I was looking away. It was difficult. That's all I got. I don't know if I was boring. I hope I wasn't. I hope I'm never a boring person, even if it's not towards a romantic interest. Just in general, I hope I'm not boring.
Like he was just stretching.
I also suck at making moves. That's always been my weakness. I've actually been told that to my face. Like, hey, why didn't you do anything? That destroyed me. Anyways, she giggles at the memory.
Honestly, I'd forgotten about all that until now. That's how not a real boyfriend he was.
Man, my life sucked. Sorry that you guys had to hear about it.
What about you?
Back to this, I guess. I'm glad that right now, things seem normal. Maybe if she's talking, she forgets about being worried.
Well, I've never had a boyfriend.
Marina punches me in the shoulder.
You know what I meant. I could have guessed that much.
Hey now, I'm just being clear. But yeah, I've had other girlfriends.
Isn't it bad manners to talk about this, especially early in a relationship? Well, not really. I don't think. I mean, if both parties are open, then why not just, let out what you think and let the other know. She asked though.
They counted, though it wasn't really anything serious either. By the time I was old enough for a serious relationship, I was too busy with taking care of Gramps to focus on one. But at least no one's mom ever told them they had to break up with me.
Listen, it was hard when I was 12.
Yo, same.
For like a day or two.
I'll bet. Anyway, yeah, there was this girl I was with through a chunk of high school. We broke up in junior year, I think. She wanted to focus on school. She ended up getting a full ride to a nice college, so I guess she made the right call.
Marina doesn't miss a beat.
Nah, it was her loss.
Ooh. I shift to free my arm that's pressed against Marina's side, and instead wrap it around her. At first I can feel her tense up, but then she gradually relaxes, until most of her weight rests on me.
So, Amber?
She doesn't answer.
Mare?
Sorry, never mind.
No, don't do that to me. She looks up and smiles at me, and I smile back. Maybe it's better not to think about too much right now, or ask too many questions. It's just the two of us being happy with each other, not minding that we're both sweaty and kinda gross right now, or that we haven't eaten in hours. Or so I think. It isn't long before she yawns, and looks up at me apologetically.
Oops.
It's okay. I'm kind of tired too.
I'm not. I'm too excited still, but I don't want her to feel bad about going to bed. Plus, we did get a lot of hiking in today. I unwind my arm from her and switch which hand holds hers so that we can stand up. She's fidgety again, shifting her weight from foot to foot. Well, I guess it'll take some getting used to, for both of us. I let go of her hand. It falls limply back to her side, like she's lost control of it. Looking me in the eye, I can tell that she's waiting for me to do or say something. I take a step towards her, closing the short distance between us.
Well, good night.
And then I lean in and kiss her again. Aww. Young love, young anime love. Briefly enough that she doesn't even really have time to react before I pull away. She blinks twice, then rubs her lips and smiles.
Good night.
She walks backwards away from me, still smiling, and I'm grinning like an idiot too, of course. I'm tempted, so tempted, to invite her to sleep in my bed, just to be close to her still. But I don't. Since she's still so nervous and unsure, I don't want to make that harder for her. It's a bold move. I lick my lips as I go to turn off the lights, still tasting the sweetness of her on them. As I climb into bed, listening for the sounds of her breathing, I don't expect to get much sleep of my own tonight. Wowzers, a lot of development. I was going to say earlier, the whole, mutually parting ways to focus on school. I remember I did that. It wasn't too far into the relationship, so, no hard feelings. But the thing is that I had already graduated high school, and she was going on into her junior year. I wanted to focus on college, and I felt like, that age gap, she's in a completely different school, and a completely different level. It was more of the right thing to do to just kind of cut that off. Not saying that that's not a bad thing, you don't have to do that. It's just, man, you gotta watch it. But that's a different story. That's where we're going to end this one, guys. We have reached our 30-minute mark, or just about. This one was a fun one. I enjoy sharing stories of my life with the random people here on YouTube who watch my videos. Probably just, wanting straight up, love, romance, and Yuri, but nope, you'll get my boring-ass stories as well. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that fantastic jazz. Apparently, that was episode 12. I don't know how many episodes this is going to be. I really have no idea. But I hope that we're nearing the end, because boy, oh boy, there's a lot more I want to focus on here at the channel. And I'm not saying that this is an inconvenience, but, I got to get this done. We've been at this for way too long. So we'll be getting this wrapped up for sure. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.